Rude. Well, hello, Sasha Black.
Hello, darling.
It's so funny that we normally do this at this time, and I feel like you have had a whole day to expend all your energy, so you're kind of coming down, and I'm like ramping up. I'm just here the first time I've spoken
I
today.
know it's wild. And so we're at different times because normally this is an hour later for me, but we're an hour earlier, which is so much better. So it's like only 6 o'clock here.
Awesome. And I think it might get even better because have you had your time zone change? Oh, you have.
So
So now
we've just had ours.
we're at
Yeah,
our
we're at our
perfect
closest.
aligned closest time.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so winter's always better, I think. And then it's slightly harder in the summer because we have to go later.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Hello, how are
Anyway.
you?
Hi. Oh, so many things. How are you?
I feel like I'm also so many things,
Oh,
but
you start. I
I'll
always start, so I want you to start.
oh gosh, I just feel like it has been
10 years since we spoke.
it has been so
Yeah.
long. I have finished I've last Monday I finished two books. Um it's fun to say, but also true that I got the page proofs done for Seven Miracles. So that is like the last time I will ever touch it. And I did talk about this on my podcast, so I will not belabor it. But doing page proofs on your Remarkable is the absolute best thing that's ever happened because then you can just send the PDF, they want the PDFs of the pages that are being changed, and you just tag them and then you send the tags and it takes 1 second. It's the best thing ever. I enjoyed it so much. And then that day also, I needed to send those in, so I finished them, sent them in, and then that day I've been working on revising the fix for forever, for months, off and on. And that day I was like, oh, I know I can get it done this week. That was on a Monday. And then I was done by the end of the day. Do you ever have that where like you have calculated wrong? Usually I undercalculate and I go over, but every once in a while, especially towards the end of a book, you're like, okay, 4 more days. But it's that day because you just roll downhill.
Mm,
Do you ever have
I
that?
feel like I hope that's happened, but it's usually the other way round. I mean, so I do speed up considerably towards the end. So I
Yeah.
do feel like maybe not quite 4 days to that day, but like maybe 2 days to that day.
This one also, I looked at this this book has had so much waffling around it and through it, including in the writing itself. Like there's this big introduction when I went in for this revision. I'm like, why am I clearing my throat like this? Get rid of it. And then at the end, I found this entire author's note where I was, explaining the book they just read. No, fuck that. Just it's gone. So that was a surprise when I got to that. I'm like, and then this last chapter that I thought was something else actually is the epilogue, and it all worked so beautifully. And it's and then I did this really enjoyable thing where I put the fix on my Remarkable Pro and then read through it that way again. I used to do the final read always on my Kindle, and now I do it on this because it's so easy. And I sent it to my agent, and yeah. What were we gonna
I'm
say?
so jealous of your Remarkable Pro color because you got the color one.
Yeah,
That's what I'm deeply jealous
the
of.
color, okay, I will reassure you, the color does not show very much on the Pro at all. You can basically
Okay.
almost not see that it is in color. You can see it if you shoot the PDF to your computer, then you'll be like, oh, that's a color. But because it's e-ink and it draws it up, it's almost like comic book print, but it's even lighter than comic book print. I've seen artists who work on the Pro and they go over and over and over and over and bring up more and more and more red. No, screw that. If I'm writing something in red, I want it to be red. It doesn't show in red. It shows weirdly. Oh, and there's a lag. If you write in black, there's no lag. But if you write in red, it writes it out in black and then it goes kind of disappears and then flashes back up onto the screen in red. It would
I
drive
reckon
me
software will
bananas.
fix that in a few months,
But
so.
I don't think so because it's actually a hardware problem because you have
Oh,
to draw the dust, the colored dust up to the top of the screen because it is
oh,
e-ink.
yeah.
So I think that maybe that'll speed up somehow, but because it's physically drawing particles up to the top of the screen, I don't know that it will. The thing that I
Oh,
do love about the Remarkable Pro, and I was able to like send my old one back for the full refund and get this one, which is why I'm I was able to do it. I couldn't get two Remarkables Pro. Um, but I do like the backlight. It is because I do write in on my couch where there is no light. I could have also, bought a fucking lamp, but I did not do. That'd be what normal people would do. But I do like that. That's why I got it.
It's funny how when something functions really well, we didn't know we weren't missing it. We didn't know we were missing it. So
Yeah.
like I brought a new laptop a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, and did like all of a sudden I'm now way more mobile. Like I'm working in other
Oh,
rooms again. I didn't realize how stuck I was and how much
uh-huh.
I appreciate actually moving. Like I think that's the activator. I really like moving. Um,
Gosh.
I don't want to be stuck in, like, don't get me wrong. There are certain things about my process, like I only ever want to write in one of three documents type of thing.
Hmm.
But even that three is more than somebody with super high consistency who will always do it exactly the same way. But I didn't realize how stuck I had been. And it was only when I got a laptop that actually functions and works that I was like, oh. And then I was on the train and like whacked out 2,500 words in like a way down and a way back up from London. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'd forgotten how good it is to like be able to work anywhere.
I needed
Um,
to hear this because my activator is, top five as well. And I have been putting off for, I don't know, a year in getting a new computer because this one just barely works, but I can't close the lid. This is
oh
my
my God, go
entire,
and get a new
this is
fucking
I
laptop.
can close the lid if I shut down every single app and shut the computer down. Not sleep it. It will not sleep. If it sleeps, the whole thing crashes. Or if I close the lid, it crashes. It's very old.
Is it a
And,
Mac?
but this is yeah, it's a Mac, and I love a Mac.
How old is it?
2017, I think,
Okay,
maybe
I really
2018.
don't think you should have a MacBook that's more than 4 years old as an author.
I
You just
never have.
shouldn't.
I have never thought that. I've always agreed with you, and I've just been putting this off. But I've been putting it off in rather a like, look at me saving money. But you just
But
blew
you
my
just
mind
get
because
more
then
and more frustrated
yes,
and
yes,
less able to
and
actually do your job.
yes, and I love going out to write. I love going out to write, and it is a whole thing. Wait, I gotta shut the computer down, and then I get to the computer, and then I get to the coffee shop or the library or whatever, and you hear boom as the whole computer starts, up.
Is that your only computer?
Yeah, it's the only thing I have or
Okay,
own or
so
use.
I'm just going to give you a bit of I don't know whether this is going to sound really indulgent, but as an author, my entire life is on the iCloud, right? So I don't have one, I have two. So I have a Mac Mini, which is like the hidden gem of Apple products because it's
I don't
like
even know what that
half,
is.
well, exactly. It is half the price of a Mac, iMac. I'm going to show you. So I will describe it with my voice for listeners,
I,
but for viewers, it is this little, and that's my hand, so you can see how small it is.
oh,
So it's
Lala
a
has one
square cube.
as like
Um,
a media hub for our house. I think that's
well,
what we
it's a
have.
computer. It's
Yeah.
literally a computer. So that is Mac. That is everything that the iMacs and the laptops can do, but it's in a little cube. And because it's ugly, it's like 800 quid to a laptop, 1,600 pounds.
Right.
So I have that. And then I have two computer screens because you can plug
Ah,
anything into it. So I have the setup of a PC with the workings of a Mac. But because that is stationary, I then have a laptop so that I can then go. But also because my very first launch, the day that my book launched, my MacBook broke. So from that day forth, I have always had two computers because I was like, no, it was like my first book, and I was like, are you fucking joking me? So yeah, from that day forth, I was like, okay, I need a spare. And at that point, it was like, okay, Chloe had a spare, But like
right.
as time went on and I could afford it, I brought, a desktop.
So
And
now
but
when you
the
get, does everything still run through your laptop? As in when you get home, do you plug the laptop into your mini and so everything
no,
is there? Oh no, it really doesn't.
I don't need to.
Wow.
It's all on the cloud. Why would I need to? Everything's the same. It's all the same. Yeah, because it's
I use
Apple, so everything's
I don't
shared.
use the cloud. I don't use the Apple Cloud. I use Dropbox, but same difference.
Same, same,
You know,
same. If it's all the
in
apps
one
are on
place.
all the things,
Yeah,
then it's all, and you log in with your same iTunes account, not iTunes, Apple account, then it's
yeah.
all iTunes. So showing my age, aren't
So
I?
did you get a MacBook Pro? Did you get a oh what
No,
was the new one?
no,
No.
and I didn't purely because I didn't think I needed it. I have the laptop to be mobile, but I
Right.
anything that is heavy work is done at the desk.
That makes so
But
much
the
sense
laptop,
because I use I buy the Pro, the MacBook Pro because I do so much video editing and everything has to live inside the notebook. This poor little baby, it's exhausted. It does so much.
yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
and that's the other thing. The Mac Mini hubs, they have all of that high processing power
Hmm.
because they are not MacBook style. So
Right.
yeah, I got the Air, but I got an Air with slightly higher spec
Higher spec,
insides.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah. So
favorite
it's
computer I've ever had was the Air. I love it. I loved that thing.
yeah,
It's
but
so
I won't do
little.
anything heavy on it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool. That's so
yeah.
cool.
So you have permission.
I think I might do this. Oh no,
Oh,
I will
I
do
think
this.
I'm a
No,
bad
it's not.
influence.
I think you are a bad influence of the best kind because you bring me around to the idea, well, it would be dumb not to. That's
Yeah, it really
that's
would.
what I
What are
really
you
value in
actually
a
going to do
friend.
if it breaks,
Well, that's
though?
the thing is I always would drive a computer till it dropped because I lived in the Bay Area. And yes, it would be an hour out of my day, but I would go to the the Apple store, I'd buy the computer, I would load up Dropbox, and everything is there instantly. It's not like I would have to transfer anything over kind of thing. But I don't have that now. There is no Apple store. I don't even think there's one in Auckland. I think we have to like, there's a computer store, but I would do much better and get a better price to order from Apple and have them mail it to me with a plan. There's nowhere I can just go and buy one. And if I did, it would be double the price. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, no,
Well,
you're an excellent influencer. So that is me. I finished those. Those two books are just completely off of my desk, and I don't have to worry about them for a while. My agent is reading the fix, and I don't know what's going to happen with that after she does. If she asks for revisions, I will say, "Oh, you know what? I'm not doing revisions because I'm self-publishing it. Give it back."
is
Um,
she, would you like her to query it?
I would, yes,
Mm, mm, okay.
because why do I want that? I would want her to query it for a good amount of money, kind of like with Seven Miracles. And there's another part of me that doesn't want her to query it because I want it to be, the flagship property of Rachel's future, the fix books, the money fix, the writing fix,
Hmm.
those ones that we've talked about. I've considered changing Unstuck into the home fix when if that comes out. So then I would be then the so she, the it would be nice to have the flagship book for it out in stores, you know, but also, it might be better to keep the flagship property so I can always adjust and fix it and push it. So I don't know. I don't think there, I don't, I think I'm done tying myself into knots about what is the best way to go. I don't think there's a best way to go. I think I follow my heart and I do the thing
See
and then I
what
make
the
a
energy
decision.
is. Yeah, exactly. As it,
Exactly.
yeah,
So that's where
yeah.
the energy is right now, and the energy is also in the fact that it's technically my Monday here, because yesterday was a public holiday, so today's the first day of the week, and I get to start my new book today. I get to start that, but the novel I was telling you about. So that's really
Oh,
exciting. And I did meet with Ellie, our joint coach, and I told Ellie, I said, Sacha told me that you can help with plot. So let's talk about plot. And she did
did
not
she
help me with
laugh?
plot. She did
Oh
laugh.
no.
She thought it was hilarious. And then she helped me because I already had basically the plot. That was the funny part. She helped me see what was already in there and what I had missed. And
But the
and
funny thing is, you've usually said it to her, you're just not
right.
consciously aware of it. That's what she does to me. She's like, she just pulls what I'm saying and then re-says it back to me, and I'm like, "Oh, you're amazing." And she's like,
It,
eye roll at me.
I cried like this is not the first time I've cried with Ellie, and I don't cry that much. But she said something back reframing this main character's journey. to me, and it was so meaningful to me. It was everything that I wanted this main character to have for a journey, the contemporary one. And it was just it's so cool. And of course, now I'm going to start the book and I will absolutely ass it up. Like today is the day I break the book because this will be the first day I write anything about
You,
it.
but you plot, right? Do you plot? You
I don't
plot.
plot.
You
No,
don't
mm-mm.
plot.
I usually have tent poles, and I'm trying to plot a little bit more because this is three POV through three timelines, really. So I will have to plot a little bit. I need to do some points, but I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that is written out of order and also read by the reader out of order because the whole book is going to be ephemera. It's going to
Did
be
you
yeah.
did you ever read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn
Not yet,
Hugo?
not yet. It's on my list of
Oh,
also
okay.
ephemera /
Yeah.
epistolary books.
Yeah.
This one will have, yeah, but
Will you
they'll
please
be able.
Marco me when you
Yes,
do?
I will. I
Okay,
will.
thank
I am
you.
looking forward to it. So yeah, this one. So the whole idea behind it is, you know, it was epistolary letters, but now it's like ephemera. It'll include a lot of different kinds of little pieces of paper trails of people or, digital paper trails. And Ellie gave me this idea that each of the three characters, like I should be collecting the ephemera as I am
Mm.
writing about it and as a way of um using a tactile sense of like when I get stuck, then I would go to, here's Charles's box on my there's nothing in Charles's box, but here's Charles's box of ephemera. So if I get stuck, I go through and read his letters, which I will write and put in the box, and pictures and feathers and quills and
You're
stuff.
a number one input, right?
Yes.
That's the most
Yes.
input thing I have ever heard in my
Is it
entire life.
because
And
I'm
do you know what
sorting and
else?
collating and yeah, tell me.
So how are you going to want to publish this?
I don't know.
Because that stuff that you're collecting and creating would make for a fucking incredible high tier on a Kickstarter.
That is exactly what I thought. Either high tier in Kickstarter or high tier book, traditionally published. Like with you've seen like the Griffin and Sabine books. There have been books where you can open them and there are letters inside that you pull out when you
Yeah.
get to
Well,
the
the
page.
Postman, the kids one, there's a kids book,
Is
isn't
there a
there?
kids
The
one?
Jolly Postman, and that you read the letters that the postman posts.
Yes, exactly. And that like if the movie ticket flutters out on the page where they whatever that is. And so then there's this like little, oh, look at this. I got it in an antique shop for $6. I'm going to describe it. It is a little box covered with cats and it's kind of shiny and
Stitched.
it's stitched together. It's obviously from like the 40s or so. And it's the cutest thing. So this is one of the characters' little ephemera boxes. So I'm just so excited to be writing the letters and to be filling the boxes and to be inputting and outputting. And I'm just going to play. I'm just gonna
Oh,
play. Yet
joy.
I did have that idea about a, a wild Kickstarter of what would be
Yeah,
in
that would
there.
be amazing.
So is that where I am? Is that catch me up? I think that's where I am. I am excited and happy and doing well, and I can't stand that I get to start a new book today.
Oh, that is like the biggest activated joy ever.
Do you want to hear just very indulgently, would you like to hear how I think the book is going to open? And that will absolutely change, and this probably won't even make it in the book, but I'm so excited about it right now.
Yeah.
So my main character, the contemporary character, is a declutterer for people who are dying. That's what she does. That's
Like
and she's
Swedish death cleaning.
Swedish death cleaning, exactly. And she's so good at it, so big at it that she's been asked to write this book, and then um so she's struggling with that. And then she gets a contact form on her website page from a close friend who is also her ex, who says, "Oh, I need to come hire you to do this because I'm dying." And she's because it is that kind of ex, that kind of friend who will. who will screw with you, but she knows she's not screwing with her, and she's so mad. But the friend thinks this is kind of a funny joke to send her this contact form to tell her,
I
to
love
alert her
it.
that she's dying. So she's got to go home and take care of this person and clean out her house and find all this ephemera. So,
I can just imagine her absolute outrage, like how fucking dare you
and that is
now
the
that
ex.
I have to go and deal with this. Like
Exactly.
it's
And
that,
that's the ex who
yeah.
will always create a problem, you know?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Like
But
there
that's
is
all I know.
nothing better than that. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Less that's it's the anxiety for me.
Oh,
That's
and that's why I'll
wow. I
be
mean, whew.
that's why I will be writing this book for a long, long, long time. Not like people who plot. I will just be chasing my tail a lot. So tell me about you, my little plotter. How are things going? Because I'm
Wow.
absolutely I'm about to declare like podcast bankruptcy because I've had so much guilt about missing my favorite podcast for so long. I'm just gonna like do nope, start over from day where we are. So I don't know anything that has been happening with
Okay.
you. Let me
So
know.
the last time we spoke was the end of September, yeah?
Yep.
So my Kickstarter hadn't finished.
Oh, that's right. It hadn't finished.
Hadn't actually finished. And now I've been paid out. So that was wild.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
tell us because there will be people who don't follow you listening on my podcast.
okay.
Where
So
did it, what was the goal and where did it end financially?
I think the
Because
goal
that's
was
so
like £2,000 or something. Just because like I think everybody shits the bed a little bit just before they hit publish and we never
1000%.
or 3,000. Maybe it was £3,000. It was less than five, right? It was definitely less than five. And it finished up at £55,910. However, we've also had some backers come via outside of Kickstarter who needed like a few extra days, but they asked during the Kickstarter. So I was like, you know what? If Petra's happy to deal with it, I'm happy to make sure we fulfill it. So it was a little over 56,000 in the end.
Which is
But
for those
then
listening, that is 74,000 US dollars. And over six figures in New Zealand dollars.
yeah, that's wild. I mean, obviously, like it is not, it's about 50% profit. So we've now done most of the maths in terms
Good.
of all the
Perfect.
ordering. Yeah,
Perfect.
and it will come out about 50% profit. But we're already investing in the next one. So,
Mhm.
you say it's 50% profit, but actually, if you want to build, a portfolio on Kickstarter, then you reinvest a big chunk into the next one anyway. So, we've got, in fact, the covers are nearly done for the next Kickstarter. We've all the end pages are in progress, the chapter heading art's in progress. We've commissioned a new artist. So, that's like another five grand or something, like pissed up the wall in art and covers and all the rest of it. So where we are is that I got paid out £50,538, which was that was more than I used to earn in corporate. Which makes me so nervous. Say that out loud. But anyway, so
I
that
love
was a
that
lot.
so
Yeah.
much.
Um, and then so we have placed the majority of the orders for all of the toys, all of the physical items. We're still waiting on some of the but we haven't quite ordered all the art yet, the art prints and stuff. And the books are not we haven't ordered the books yet. They'll get ordered in November. Um, yes, so
Now,
we
when you
took
say
the very
50% profit, are you that is that including your assistant's help too? Because that's
more or
because
less.
oh great. Good, 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 good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
more or
Okay, go
less.
on.
Give or take 500 quid or something.
Yeah, yeah, who cares?
Um, yeah, exactly. So yes, we have taken the difficult decision that we will fulfill all of the digital stuff in November, but we are not going to ship until January. So we are going to pack all the boxes, all the books will be signed, everything will be done the last week before Christmas, but
Hmm.
we just didn't want anything to get lost in the post because
Good.
Christmas is wild.
Yep.
I did not like it, having to delay it. But we hadn't really confirmed one way or another. And because this last book was so fucking hard to write, I just had to take the pressure off because I was not going to be able to finish it. Otherwise, the pressure was getting too much.
And
So,
may I remind you too of what Kickstarter is? It is a place to make an order and fulfill it much later. Most
yeah,
Kickstarters never fulfill as quickly as indie writers are used to doing it. It is common to have 6 to 12 months after you kickstart something for it to arrive. You're still going to be
yeah.
so far ahead of the pack, but I know you hate it.
I do hate it, especially because of the timing. Like New Year, I know not everybody likes New Year, but as a high activator, I absolutely love a fresh start. I love the first of the month. I love the
Me
first
too.
of a quarter.
I
I
love the
love the
first of a
first of a new
week.
year.
I'm gonna
Right?
I'm gonna
Exactly. Monday's
calendar
like my
my
favorite
four
day.
days. Me too. My 4 days of
Yeah,
work this week. I haven't done it because we're doing this first, but I will do it after this, and I will know the
exactly.
plan. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't like leaving things unfinished where
Yeah. Yeah.
possible, especially because it's so close to done, you know. But
Yes,
anyway,
and you're not leaving it undone without help. I think I hate a lot of times leaving it undone. Like, how am I going to remember to do everything the right way if I'm not doing it right now? But you have this remarkably organized brain helping you too. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
just
it will be
get used
done.
to the discomfort.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, it will be done. We're just
just
not
not
pushing it out the
right.
door. That's, you know.
Exactly.
Um, so in terms of other things, I had an Arabic translation go through. I
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you. That's for the nonfiction.
Mhm.
And then I handed the book to the editor. But I handed it shake with shaking hands, and I sort of caveated it with, I know there's a problem. The problem's at the end of the book. I don't know how to fix it. Um, I think this is the problem. And then on Friday, no, Saturday, she turned around and said, "Yeah, you're right. That is a problem." So we had a chat on Saturday, and then she was like, "I don't think it's going to be huge amounts of work. I think you need to do this, this, and this." I've gone and done this, this, and this. And then so I had to re-edit the last 25K of the
Mhm.
book. And I sent her back the first sort of maybe 8 or 9K and was like, can you just check this before I go any further? And she was like, yeah, perfect. Exactly. It's all back in. So I'm now charging my way
Good.
through. So I've written another 5,000 words in the last like 36 hours. And I'm like trying desperately hard to get to the back to the end. And then it will go back to her tomorrow evening, and then it will come back Saturday. I've got to do one more read through, and then it goes to podium. So this is the latest I've ever left a book. I never leave it this late. So it goes to podium, and then it will also go to two final readers who will
Podium, for
just
those who don't know,
check.
is podium is audio. So, yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness me, that's another thing. My narrator has been nominated for a SOVAS award for House of Crimson Hearts narration. Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh
I was
my
like, what the fuck?
gosh.
That's amazing. She's incredible though. Incredible, and really deserves it. So
How
I'm so
wonderful.
excited
And
for
that is one
her.
of those things that brings you readers because people follow narrators around like they follow authors.
Yeah. So that's really cool
Congratulations
and
to
exciting.
her. And how
I
cool that it's
know.
your book that she.
I know,
Oh, I
I
love
know.
that.
I think it was best voice narration for romance or erotica it was. So like big, pretty big title as well. I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
gosh.
So that was exciting. And then I started the new thing, which I'm so excited for. I'm also in, like, even though I'm in finishing energy, I'm also in starting energy
Oh.
because I don't have an 1,800 page to-do list anymore. So I can actually juggle multiple things. So not only am I in edits for finishing this last book, I've also written almost both of the smutterlogs for the Kickstarter. I've just got a few paragraphs left on the second one. And I'm outlining loosely, mostly researching still at the moment, but outlining mood boarding, pulling all the stuff together for the new book. And I'm so excited. I can't even like. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Oh, I'm so happy. So we both have this like energy
Yeah.
for getting into the thing that we love the most.
Yes.
That's
And I'd forgotten how much I
wonderful.
love this phase.
It's the best phase. I think the phase when you are in the beginning of the book is one of the best phases. And then again, I really love the book when it's coming together in like a, I know you don't love edits, but I love edits when it starts coming together
I
in,
get that in the draft, though, that feeling. I know exactly the
yeah.
feeling you're talking about, and I get that in drafting.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just so, so, so good. It's so pure, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's such a joyful energy. And like, you get that like giggly, leg kicking feeling of like putting all the pieces together. And I know for like, so, and this is why I think I do less editing because I do more editing before.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of
You
thing.
definitely do.
Whereas if you're not outlining, you do more editing after, I think, to put,
Hmm.
whereas I do it like this almost is editing for me as I'm like moving the pieces and going, no, this doesn't flow right, the story structure's wrong, or so it's kind
Yes,
of that
yes.
giddy feeling of that now. And all the tropes and all the hooks and I love it. I love it. I'm so
Here's a
excited.
question for you because I had we were talking about this in one of my classes recently, and how do you keep how do you keep a trope from being a cliche? And my answer, my and I know and I don't know how you'll answer this, but my answer was like, a cliche is an overworn, stereotype, but a trope, you can't just people want it and people want it in your voice. But how would you answer that? How do you keep a trope from being a cliche?
Well, I think tropes become cliches eventually. So a trope by nature isn't a cliche. Like I don't, can we turn it in? How would you, I mean, how would you turn a trope into a cliche? How
That's my
could we
answer too.
do
I
that?
don't know if you can because I think trope is the thing that tickles the reader that they will always want. Like,
Well,
there are enemies to lovers fans who will buy anything that is enemies to lovers. And if it was I guess
well,
if it was
let's
done super easily and facilely, that it might feel like a cliche, but
knight in shining armor.
right.
You could put that into billionaire romance.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So I mean, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, and there are some cliches that I actually quite love. Like, I actually quite like them. Like, you know,
Yeah.
certainly in romance as well. Like, the nickname. Like, I mean, okay, maybe that's not a cliche, but it's definitely overdone. Like, everybody does it. But,
Everybody does it, but that is because, and here's my thing is that everybody loves it. When I see one of the things in a book that I love, like when we get to the nickname that that one of them calls the other, we're like, oh, and we don't think in our heads, oh, what a cliche. They've got a pet nickname now. No, that's I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting, and there it is.
yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? Because I think how would you make a trope a cliche? I'm sure you can.
I'm
Uh,
reassured that you're having this reaction too because this is
yeah.
a newer writer asking, and I'm like I don't think you can. I think that if you are to write a person of a specific gender or religion or
Well, they become
sexual orientation,
stereotypes.
then you can lean over into stereotypical cliche, which is what cliche is. It's
Yeah.
just like it's not trying, it's not putting your
Yeah.
voice, it's not being original, but.
How
But if we
many
write a trope,
enemies
we
to
have to be
lovers?
original.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many
It's
enemies to lovers
yeah.
variations are there? Like 500 million different variations on it, and none of
Mhm.
them read the same.
And
Even
yeah,
when it's the same setup, even when it's like single dad enemies to lovers, right? Like,
same setup, same location, same time
yeah,
frame, same everything. It's still always going to be unique if the author has written it with their heart and given their best and been edited and done the work.
yeah,
Then
I think
okay,
so
thank you.
too. And
Just
this is
wanted to
why I love like the whole Jennifer Lynn Barnes writing for the
yeah,
id, like
id.
Theodora
Yeah.
Taylor, the Universal Fantasy. So I am just obsessed with it all because like I really shied away from tropes when I wrote my first series, and it was such a mistake because it is the language of readers. Like it's literally how readers communicate. So why on earth would we not communicate in the same way to them about our books?
That's funny. As I'm starting work on this book, I realize I have no idea what tropes anything in this book might fall into, so I'm going to look at that today. Because it is one of those things that I always I always think of too late. And then I can always find them in there. I do, but it might be nice to lean hard against one or two of them.
Yeah. 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 And even if you don't plan what they look like, if you know that you're putting them in, then they'll go in seamlessly anyway.
Hmm.
Can you believe that we're nearly at the end of the year?
It makes no, I does no,
I know, we had 2 months
absolutely
left.
not. No, I wrote in my journal the other day, I remember the day, it was 14th October, and I was like, I don't, that's has to be wrong. And I know that we say this every year, but this year it really feels like it. We don't say that every year because remember 2020 lasted for 17,000 years.
Yeah.
That
But January did too. January was like 42 months long.
I do remember the beginning of the year was nice and slow. Yes.
It
Yes.
was
And then
like
I and then I
time's such a
blinked.
weird thing. I genuinely feel like sometimes time is not the same.
I am reading, well, that's because it's not. I'm reading this book by Carla Rovelli right now, who is a uh, quantum theorist, uh and time makes no sense. Time is different in different places. And even if I live my life standing 6 feet above you, you will have lived less time than me. I will have had a longer, more time. Like that's because time is shorter the closer we are to a gravitational source. And it just, I mean, time doesn't, isn't actually linear in the way that we think about it. We won't go there. But yeah, you're right. It's because it doesn't make any sense. Time is weird.
It is. So this is even more so the case for me. But when my son goes to my mum's, so especially for a period of time, so he went yesterday and he's not back until Thursday. So, sort of 4 days or so. Those 4 days feel like 12 because I get more done. I looked at the clock about 4 times today and I was like, how is it only 2 o'clock? Like, I
Oh,
just
I
couldn't
love that
understand.
feeling.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Like yeah, I do like when I get a little bit of extra time because like and it just all stretches. But the reason that I noted that it's nearly the end of the year because that usually means we start planning. Have you? Have you? Do you
I
know what your plans are?
no, let's talk about it for a little bit because I think I am in a little bit of danger of enjoying the writing process of this book so much that it could stretch out too long. And I think I do want to put a cap on that because just because this is the brand new book of my heart that, I believe I was put on this earth to write, I felt that way about other books too. And I know how that goes. So perhaps I would like to make myself some goals about getting it done because I am a fast writer when I'm writing a first draft, if I put my mind to it. The
When's your next class? When do you have
Well,
to
I'm
start your
in I'm in classes and that takes so much of my time and I'm so happy about that and I'm overjoyed to be able to do that, but that is a lot of my time during the week. I will be done at the end of November. So I've got 1 month of teaching and writing and then I'm going to take 6 months off from the teaching at all. Like not like doing nothing. So, that's a great place to put it. Those 6 months I will do a first draft and the big huge makes sense draft, which is what I need in mind. And I think I will do that. So three
do you
month,
have a
no, wait,
word for next year?
Ah, no, no, I don't. What do you have in mind for these things?
No, well, I usually do have a word, but I haven't given myself chance to intellect because I literally only just realized how close we are to the end of the year. Um, I think my word this year ended up being growth
Yeah. Yes.
on
Yes.
so many different fronts. So many different fronts. Um, so I don't know what my
How are
word's going to be
you
next year.
how are you feeling about the growth at this point? Both like in terms of readership and financially, where because it has really thrown you for the loop de loop.
Yeah, it
Um,
did. It did. Readership, oh, it's amazing. Like, it's so different having fiction readers to non-fiction readers. Like, non-fiction readers feel like friends, fiction readers feel like readers.
right, 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 right.
There's
Oh,
more
that's
of a
a really
separation.
good way to. I've never thought about that, but that is so true.
Yeah, like I feel connected to them in different ways.
Yeah.
Like the connection feels different.
Yeah. And then I do a lot of memoir, and I think that there's, um, which is nonfiction that feels like fiction. And I think that those readers are right smack dab in the middle,
Oh.
that they feel like readers who are friends. It's kind of a lot because memoir, I think, is the because I've written in all the genres now almost, um, is the one that when I get emails from readers, they are the most emotionally intense because people are also sharing their stories, which I love. But I also take it really seriously.
Mm. Have you read Viola Davis's memoir?
No, is it good?
I think that's my book of the year.
And I'm assuming
Yeah.
you listened to it. I'm assuming
I
she read it.
listened to it. She,
Yeah,
yeah, of course,
yeah, yeah.
like,
How could you
because it
not?
was her. How could you not? It would be rude. So yeah,
What did you love about it?
everything. I am. I think I have a crush on her actually. Like, she is fucking powerhouse. She is so strong, and she had a tough childhood.
Oh,
Like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about how tough her childhood was. And she just grit her teeth and, you know, succeeded. And I just think she's incredible. I think she's fucking incredible and so talented and such an inspiration. And like, like her memoir was tough to listen to. Like it was hard, and yeah, everything was amazing. And I think it might be my book of the year because I was having, like, I've not had too much success with books this year. Um, I haven't had many five-star reads. And I think that is partly why I had such a reading slump partway through the year.
mm-hmm.
And this month I think I'm on book 13 or 14 that I've read, and most of them have been like two stars, like that I'll never remember. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know if I'm reading the wrong genre. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, when I looked back at what I have been reading this year, I scrolled through and I was like, I think that's the one. I think that is my book of the year, which is not something that I thought I would ever say because I don't really read a lot of memoir, she says, having also read your amazing memoir this year, which I devoured in one gulp, let me tell you.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually I don't usually see reviews, but I had realized that I had never told anybody that it was out, and I should probably ask for some reviews because I still haven't told anybody that it's out because the paperback got delayed and then the audiobook was delayed. Anyway, I'm waiting for everything. But your review is lovely. I actually saw your review. I never see reviews. Thank you.
ah,
Thank you for that. You didn't need to do that, but I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it. It's funny, like two of my fave books were memoirs this year. Who fucking knew? Like that's not something I ever thought I'd say. Um,
Oh, I can't wait to read the Viola Davis then. That sounds
oh, it's so
wonderful.
good. It is
I
so
have
good.
a movie recommendation for you and Chloe. Drive
Oh,
Away Dolls.
okay.
Drive Away Dolls is on Netflix. It's a Cohen. It's not a Cohen brothers. It's a Cohen brother. It's Ethan Cohen. Um, and apparently his wife, and I'm not sure how this works, so don't ask. His wife is a lesbian, who wrote it, and I believe it. It's the most lesbianic film I may have ever seen. Its actual title is Drive Away Dykes, but they couldn't get away with it. So just rent it. It is violent. Do not watch it with the boy. It's
Okay.
lightly violent. It's very violent in the very first like 10 minutes. And it's but in the Cohen style. And so I can handle it. And it's so funny and it's very, very sexually explicit, but like in a very funny, hilarious way. And it's a romp. It's such it's a heist movie kind of romp with dildos and sex that actually looks like girl sex and
Ah,
soccer players. It's hilarious. It's so
okay.
funny and sweet and very Cohen. So
Okay,
Drive
amazing.
Away
I will
Dolls. It's
watch.
a good
Yeah.
date night movie. And it's only like an hour and 20 minutes. Why don't people make those kind of movies anymore? Lala
I
last
know.
night,
I
I was like, okay, let's go, let's go. And Lala asked me, are you impatient to get the movie started? Or are you impatient to get the movie done with? And I was like, both, obviously.
Have you seen the new Joker film?
No, I haven't heard great things about it. Oh, you just rolled your eyes. It's terrible.
I don't think I should talk about it on here because it would be such a huge spoiler. So, and I will not give spoil. If you want the spoilers, I will tell you after the show.
Oh,
But
we'll do it after the show because I want the spoilers. And I am definitely not going to see it. I didn't want to say, I've heard it's been panned and everyone hates it in case you were about to say, it's the best movie I ever saw. So, no, that's what
I
I've heard.
cannot get those hours back.
Oh, no. Oh, Lady Gaga, you did us wrong.
Oh, and it like
Oh.
she was like, oh, I mm, I will rant after.
Okay, so that's your non review of
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the day.
yeah. That's my
Okay, so next
non-review.
time when we talk, what do we want to have done? It'll be the end of
I
November.
feel, yeah, I will have gone to Vegas.
Oh,
So I feel
right.
like maybe we should talk about goals for next year, our word for the following year, maybe.
Is it too early to do that? Do we want to do that in December?
Yeah, maybe, but then everybody will get it in January.
Oh, good point. No, let's do it next month.
Yeah.
I
And then
forgot
they'll
that we
get it
did
in
that.
December. Yeah.
So our special patrons, who get this early, a month early on either of our
Yeah.
Patreons, will get it early, and then everybody else get it right on time. Thanks for
Yeah.
remembering that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yesterday was Labor Day here, which New Zealand takes very seriously. We take our union history seriously. Nobody works. And I was sitting on the couch last night after the movie, scrolling. I'm like, I should see what's going on tomorrow on my calendar because I didn't have a Monday to plan, and I saw Tuesday. Sasha, as soon as you wake up. I thought, oh, I'm glad I looked.
I did wonder, well, like, because the time zones had changed, whether or not I'd got it wrong. And I was like, I hope she turns up.
All right, next month planning and our word of the day
Yes.
and our word of the
Yes.
year, and that'll be wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Yes. It was good to see you too.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.